And it's funny, Joe, I'm glad that you talked about that, because I talked about at the beginning of the show about the left's willingness to excuse killings if they seem to fit the narrative. And we saw a bit of this with this extraordinary meeting between Donald Trump and Cyril Ramaphosa in the White House. But I've been particularly amazed by the media's reaction to charges that white farmers might be being persecuted. As if directed by some central Boer, every media outlet in the mainstream almost has decided that this was, quote unquote, an ambush. Meanwhile, CNN brought on a quote unquote expert to explain that South African politicians leading crowds in chants of "kill the white farmer" had to be heard in context. Listen to this.
There are many who grew up under those years of white minority rule who understand the historical context of this song, "Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer." It has brought it back again to reanimate the issue of the majority of land in South Africa still being owned by white farmers.
Call me crazy, Joe. If Donald Trump was leading people in songs about kill the Democrats, kill the lefties, I don't think people would be saying this is a big metaphor here.
Yeah, that's a great comparison right there. Look, the thing is about this is that CNN probably has more employees than an audience right now, the people actually watching, because of, seriously, because of analysis like this, where, no, actually, if we put this in context, that's what really kill the farmer means. No, it literally means kill the farmer. And it just seems like CNN, MSNBC, two American cable news networks, or the Washington Post and New York Times, the two leading newspapers, I put scare quotes around that, will just reflexively on anything that Donald Trump tries to do in terms of helping people bring peace, bring hostages home, bring peace to Ukraine or to Gaza, or to work with the Middle East as far as investment. Everything is opposed. And this is why Donald Trump currently is at 55% approval. In one poll, a top-rated A-plus poll here in the United States, a lot of polls show him around 50% or above 50%. And the Democratic Party is at 21% approval. Gas station sushi is more popular. And the media decides, you know what? We're going to echo the unpopular party by boatloads over Donald Trump, instead of just reporting facts objectively, which is what the media used to do before they decided to become activists.
Well, I'm glad you talked about the media and their activism here, because we've had this huge week in politics here, with also the news that Joe Biden issued a statement earlier this week saying that he just discovered somehow that he was suffering from an advanced form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bone. And I mean, we all wish the Bidens all the best for the long road ahead, but Joe, do you really believe that they just found this out?
I'm not a doctor. My wife is an ER doctor. However, she is not the type of person that diagnoses people for cancer. So I've spoken to a couple of doctors that do that. And a lot, I would say 90% of them have said that this is the type of cancer that likely existed within Joe Biden. And obviously, we wish him well. We have sympathy. We all have lost people that had cancer. Of course, but all that said, the fact that this came out, that he has stage 4 cancer, prostate, that is metastasized to the bone on the day before a book is about to come out about his presidency, and all these cabinet members talking about how his brain had turned to applesauce quite some time ago from a cognitive perspective, and the fact that the Robert Hur tapes were released showing Biden was completely out of it at some points of his presidency, where we don't know who the president was. The timing is very suspicious, and the fact that he probably had, that's according to Zeke Emanuel, who is absolutely a Democrat, he's also a doctor, told MSNBC that he thinks that Joe Biden had this as early as 2020 or 2021, and yet they still ran him for president and for re-election, knowing all of these problems, because maybe a Dr. Jill Biden wanted the power, or Ron Klain, or Susan Rice, or Kamala Harris all wanted the power when they witnessed what they did in terms of Joe Biden's cognitive ability, and as far as obviously this cancer that we're just learning about now. If I were to guess, if I were to just give you an opinion, I would say no, this has been known probably for some time within the Bidens.
No, I think you're right. And I think the idea of let's get Trump had blinded them to all other realities. But hey, before I let you go, Joe, I want to just have a little bit of fun here. The other day, Bruce Springsteen, the billionaire rocker with a real chip on his shoulder about Trump, took a spill in Amsterdam, and Trump returned the favor with this little video. Have a look at this. Now, course, the media has no sense of humor here, and they said, oh, it was an altered and edited video. But come on, these Karens need to lighten up a bit, don't they, Joe?
Oh, I love that. This is like when Donald Trump worked that shift at McDonald's. And I said, well, he wasn't actually hired by McDonald's. This was staged for, yeah, of course it was. I mean, come on. It's the same thing with this. Look, I'm from New Jersey. Bruce Springsteen is a Jersey guy as well. It's hard to say you're from New Jersey as a result in terms of Bruce Springsteen turning into like David Hogg's great-grandfather, just yelling at people on stage about Donald Trump. Just play Jungle Land, play Rosalita, Born to Run, and I don't want to hear about the other stuff. I'm here to watch you perform, not lecture us on politics. And look, he's been on the left for a long time. He's been very consistent about that. But there's a condescension to Bruce Springsteen now at this point where that's the exact way that Donald Trump should have pushed back on that. Don't get angry. Don't act like it got you. Just have some fun with it. And he absolutely did. He's got a pretty good swing for a 78-year-old, by the way. I don't hit the ball that way. That I do.
I know I don't hit the ball that hard. Anyway, Joe, thank you so much, as always, for your time.